What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Key coming at y'all boys with a brand new reaction video. And today we got the silent problem with drill stars. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that boy, Hello Yassine, or however you pronounce his name. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna speak too much. Talk your head off. We're gonna go ahead and get into this video. Make sure y'all boys like, comment, subscribe. Let's do it.
What's poppin', y'all? Julio Fulio was killed just the other night, and there's a lot of talk about like who did it and all of that. I'm really not too concerned about all of that. I'm more interested in the conversation around not just the longevity of rappers that make his type of music, but the sustainability of the lifestyle that is required to be safe whilst making that type of music. Julio Fulio was independent. I think he just had a distribution deal with Empire. So he was making a decent amount of money. He was getting okay streams. I don't know how well his music was doing as of late. The last time I had checked, it was probably a year or two ago. I think he had a little bit under 1 million monthly listeners. It's probably gotten up now. Either way, that's a decent amount of change to be able to survive, especially where he lived. The problem comes in that a lot of these rappers that are street rappers, dissing, all of this, sometimes they can't get booked because of the nature of their music. So they have to rely on music streaming, which doesn't make much if they signed a deal. A lot of people are signed to deals. I think Young and Ace is signed to a deal. So where does this leave a lot of them with? The bookings that they can get. If someone's gonna get booked for a show, you're gonna know where they're at. This isn't the case with Julio Fulio, but I'm just trying to extrapolate to a broader problem that is facing hip-hop, and hopefully can give some sense to at least one or two people. So you have to get booked. People need to know where you are if you get booked, right? Which includes your ops. So either you go to faraway places, or even then, they might still just show up, or someone that he doesn't like you show up. So how do you offset this? Security, bulletproof cars, high-end security places that you're staying in, hotels. This all costs a ton of money. These artists aren't getting booked for that much. They're not the biggest artists in the game. The biggest artists in the game aren't doing this type of activity, and they could just survive off the streams. So in this case with Fulio, he was just celebrating his birthday. It wasn't, I don't think it was a business affair in Tampa that he went to tend to, but he ended up, a bunch of people, of course, hindsight is 2020. People were like, yo, he posted his location, he was throwing this pool party, and then he posted his location at this club, and then people followed him after that and then killed him. What I want to know, the most important piece of information regarding this is this the first time Fulio did this? Because if I recall, 2 years ago when he'd be in other cities, he'd talk about, yo, we're going to do this, this, and this at this address or at this location. DM me and I'll send it to you. So if this isn't the first time that he's done it, of course he's going to feel comfortable doing it again. So you can't really come at him from that angle. Another one is...
I don't know if I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Just because you got away with it doesn't mean you should be comfortable doing it again. But I can see why he would say something like that. But I don't think anybody, especially because 3 years ago is when the beef was really like the hottest from all the information I'm getting. 2 or 3 years ago is when the beef was the hottest. So maybe it was calming down. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's never technically over, even though it was calming down, he probably felt a little bit more safe to do that.
The hindsight activates, but look at Young Dolph, for instance. Young Dolph, he had the money, he had the resources to have security and take all these measures. And he did take these measures most of the time. But he was in his own city. He said, you know what, I'm just going to get some cookies. Real quick. He's probably not thinking, because think about it, if you're at the crib and you want to get some cookies at your favorite cookie spot, who you're friends with the owner, she knows who you are, you're cool, you're just going to drive in there, pick it up, come out, less than 10 minutes. Granted, Young Dolph had recognizable cars in his city, but let's just say you're going to do that. Are you going to call up your security guard, see if there's any availability today, wait for him to pull up, rent another car? Like, the logistical problems with that just makes it so that you can't even do it that same day, or you'd have to wait hours. Sometimes you just want to get something done right now. Or what? Oh, he's going to send somebody to go get it for him and then bring it back. I think a lot of the time, like, people like Young Dolph are like, yo, I've done this a million times. Let me just hop in, go get it, and come back. I think the same case with Fulio.
Also, with Young Dolph, he was closer to his own area. So he feeling like, okay, boom, I'm finna slide through, stop, pick up these cookies. And like he said go to grandma's house or somebody house over there on that side. He gonna pull up, he in his area. He not thinking anything gonna happen to him in his hood because he been doing this shit for so long. So I can see where he coming from. But it's not the same with Julio because he wasn't in his area. He 3 hours away. He thinking that 3 hours is gonna save him. Dog thinking I get so much love here, ain't nothing gonna happen to me. That's two separate situations.
The problem is people like Fulio are not making enough money to insulate themselves. Like, the ideal situation for these rappers that talk about dead people would be to live in a different country, maybe on an island, or take vacations to islands, or live far away in a different state. The problem with this is a lot of their music ties to the fact that they're close to the danger. So not only is it music that is successful, and the fact that they were involved in a certain lifestyle, but it's the proximity to danger and the proximity to death of their ops that is what keeps them hot. Because Fulio and Young and Ace, nobody talked about these guys in the past 18 months. They fell out of this zeitgeist of Jacksonville drill well over 2 years ago. Fulio was actually able to maintain his career. And I kind of liked Fulio, especially the way that he spoke to people that were unaffiliated with anything he had going on. A problem with a lot of these gang members, shooters, all this, is that they want to impose whatever values, conducts that they have onto regular people, which is why you get people calling you a snitch when they're criminals. It's like, yo, you're a criminal? Stay over there. Don't try to bring your criminal code and impose it on us normal people. Like, nah, we're good off that. Stay over there. And Fulio handled it properly. Like, when he would talk to Aiden Ross, and I think when he talked to academics, he would explain to people the situation that was going on, the animosity he had towards people, and he would explain to them, like, hey, I know to you guys, you can enjoy this song, but if you have some sort of a relationship with me, do you see how it's disrespectful to, call out my homies that are dying? Even though he was doing the same thing, but he knew the consequences of it. And when you see that, you're like, okay, this guy's actually sensible, instead of, man, why are you talking about Booga or whatever person that's friends? He's like, yo, we don't give two damns about Booga. We didn't even know what his name was. We just thought it was weed or something. Like, what, you want me to stop saying the song on the rap song that's a hit that everybody else is singing? So he was understanding in that degree. It's just that there was a wave of drill music that revived since the 22G's era with Chef G and all of them, and Pop Smoke, of course, that people think it's a lot more profitable than it really is, which it's kind of not. If you think about it, 22G's, he's not doing the greatest.
When you think about that, I ain't gonna cap. He's speaking facts right here. Drill music usually doesn't last too long. Like, you hot and then you cold. And once you go cold, it's damn near impossible to revive your career. Think about Bronx Drill. Bronx Drill was the biggest thing. K-Flock was out. B-Love was going up. Dougie B, D-Thing. As soon as niggas started getting smacked with cases and the lifestyle started catching up to them, it all went away. And now New York Drill, like, nobody's talking about Bronx Drill, New York Drill. Nobody's talking about it at all. Nobody's talking about drill music really anywhere. Even Atlanta drill, Anti the Menace, and this, that, and the third, like, it came and it went. Baby Kia is still doing what he's doing, but who else? Nobody, bro. It's gone. That's crazy. I didn't even really think about that until just now.
I don't want to say money, but the guy's not balling out of control, and he's making a bunch of different music now. I think he's a talented guy, but partially it's because he's signed to a major label. Winner's Circle, Chef G, and Sleepy Hollow, they're doing really well business-wise, but that's because they established their own label, they never signed, and their music that does best isn't really just straight-up drill, dissent music. I feel like that phase has died out, and it was never the most profitable thing. Like, sure, you had the Pop Smokes, but the Pop Smokes weren't getting busy like these guys. These guys are out in the field just killing each other. And then you have certain people that escape it, that make that music, like Youngboy, but that's one in, what, 50 to 100 other
Youngboy's biggest songs, none of those songs are drill music songs. Like, yeah, he has it, like, where he'll turn up and he'll do his thing, but it's not drill. Like, I don't think any, to be honest, I don't really think any of Youngboy's songs you can consider it drill. Cause he not really calling out niggas by name. He not really dissing the dead too heavy. I wouldn't call damn near anything that Young Boy's ever dropped drill.
Rappers that had some sort of a breakout single and either died, went to prison for life or for 10, 15 plus years. And then you just have one survivor. So realistically, it's such a tough situation because the people from this background, that's all they experience. That's the quote unquote best thing they have to rap about. And they could rap about it from a different perspective instead of a taunting aspect and talk about loss. But how many of these people can reflect in that manner? And then if they do talk about it from this aggressive angle, they have to keep it up. It's not like, yo, you're not allowed to, for example, like if Foolio was in the suburbs making the same music, they're looking at him like, yo, this guy's been in the suburbs for 2 years making diss songs. Like, yo, why aren't you out in the field? These people are looking for you. And then when he dies, it's like, damn, yo, he wasn't moving proper, which is something that keeps happening. And will continue to happen.
I was just talking about this to somebody. I'm just like, at what point are you allowed to quote unquote get up out the streets? Because the fans want to hear this type of music, even though it's gonna bring bad energy and attention to you. They want to hear this, so you feel like, okay, boom. Let me give them this little diss song real quick. Spark up the hype. Maybe even spark the beef up a little bit. Somebody probably gonna die, but it ain't gonna be me. And we're gonna go back and forth and we're gonna get hot. But it's like, at what point are you gonna be allowed to leave that stuff alone when this is what they want from you? At what point? You got too many people preying on your downfall disguised as fans. Oh yeah, we can't wait for him to drop this diss song. And then you drop the diss song and, oh shit, they gonna kill him. He gonna die. You die 2-3 weeks after you dead. Ain't nobody talking about you no more. Cause some other beef done sparked up somewhere. So what's the point? Short term and long term.
Nature of fans. They don't care. You're an actor. Yeah, if you're a rapper and you're making this type of music, you need to look at yourself like you are an actor, and these people feel like they're playing an augmented reality game with you. These hardcore fans of this. They want you to get into beefs. They want you to get shot and survive. Like Foolio had his damn foot blasted off. They want you to get shot and survive and then make a song about it and diss the ops, and they're going to urge you to do things, and then they're going to message your quote unquote ops in their comment sections too. But I think the people that handle this best are the rappers that understand this and know how to not just manipulate the fans, but skate close to danger. And then once they get the opportunity to pivot, they take it all the way. But a lot of the problem is these people aren't even talented to make the type of music that isn't just straight up dissing people. Like these other guys, Spin a Benz, Fast Money Goon, who's the other? Wappa with the Choppa, I think. These guys suck. They had one song. Not only was the song, I wouldn't say like carried by the sample, but it was a very recognizable sample. It was talking about dead people. It's like, okay, what else type of music do you have to drop? And I don't know if these guys are actually in jail or not. I know K-So is in jail. Yeah, they don't have the talent to hack it. And for those that do, for instance, I thought Foolio was decently talented. I think Young and Ace is pretty good. But for those that do, they keep it up and then they have to stay close to the danger because they're not making enough money to really like get out. These people aren't making millions of dollars. They're not. Rap is not paying like it once was, especially this niche rap. Like this isn't mainstream. If it was Dirk level, yeah, it's a different story. But they have to stay close to the danger. Not only is it for financial reasons, because they can't really afford to get away too far, but also to keep the brand up. And once you stay around danger enough, something's going to happen. It's unfortunate, but that's the nature of this whole game. And
you
it seems
close
to be
enough to the fire, eventually you're going to burn yourself. Eventually you're going to burn yourself.
Case that drill is being killed by not only other people killing each other, law enforcement, and I think fans are fatigued by this type of music. We've seen a bunch of other artists blow up, not necessarily rappers. I wouldn't say they're more positive, but it's more like upbeat music that's not just about killing. There's a time limit for these kind of things. It's cyclical. Like we had the initial drill era and then it faded and we had kind of the more happier, I guess, SoundCloud era that was more fun and upbeat, and then it came back to the drill era. And then I think now we're in a more, or I don't know the era that we're in right now, to be honest. It doesn't even feel like an era. But I don't think this is what people are looking for anymore, which is a tough situation if you're trying to make music and do shows and all this other stuff. The amount of money that just regular rappers that want to move decently safe have to spend is egregious. And there's a disconnect between the fans who are like, yo, why didn't this person just have security and bulletproof cars and get a high-end hotel? Like, dog, that's like a, what, $15,000 weekend right there. Not to mention the weed and the drinks that they got to buy and all this other stuff. Like, yo, you think these rappers like Foolio got it like that? Absolutely not. But let me know what you guys think in the comments.
That is the truth. That is 1,000% true. You know, how long do you think you're going to get away with being that close to danger, being that close to the fire? You're not making enough money off of this disrespectful music to provide enough safety around you and still be able to reap the spoils of what you're working for. And from what I've been seeing, a lot of the times Foolio tell you like he not rich. Like, he got a name, he got chains, he got some jewelry, but he's not rich. He has to look the part first and foremost. And with that being said, is it worth it in the end to be dissing dead people, to be going to war with other people in your city in this new age where you got choppers, everybody got choppers, everybody got switches? It's more dangerous now than ever. You know, even the biggest drill rappers who was doing it, King Von, he passed away. He did all that. K Flock, he locked up on a body and he just caught a Rico. All the ones who were like the biggest names, they don't even make it out. And they got the money. So it's just like, what do you think that you're going to get out of it, and you not as big? You kind of like a peon in that game. What do you think you really going to get out of it? It's just something to think about. But with that being said, man, I'm finna go and get up out of here. Make sure y'all boys like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy Key checking in, checking out, and we gone.